In this lesson, we are going to take a look at adding a jog, otherwise known as offset, to the two tabs that we created in the previous lesson. Now, to show you what we're working towards, let me go to a finished model. And there's the two offsets or jogs added to the tabs. So I'm going to go back to our model. And then in the sheet metal ribbon, I'll select the jog feature. In this message, I am prompted to select a planar face on which to create a sketch for a bend line. So I'm going to go out to the screen and select the top face. I'll zoom up on this first tab, roll the model, just so it's a bit easier to see. To create a bend line, I'm going to grab the line tool. I am going to draw a line from this corner to this corner. I should mention it's best practice when you create bend lines that the bend line extends across only the piece of sheet metal that you are bending. But it's not a requirement. And since I have these two convenient corners here, I am going to use them and snap to them. Now I don't need any smart dimensions. I am done with my bend line. I'm going to close out of the sketch. And we see the property manager for jog. The very first window is prompting me for a fixed face. So I'm going to go out to the screen and select on this side of the bend line. This face will remain stationary. And notice the preview of the jog in the tab. Going back to the property manager, we are using the default radius, and like other property managers, we do have the capability to override that and specify a different radius. We're going to stay with the defaults. Going down to jog offset, I can reverse the direction of the jog. Now the jog is on the bottom side of the part, and now it's back on the top side. As far as length of the jog, I do have four options: blind, up to vertex, up to surface, and offset from surface. I'm going to select blind, and we are going to use a value of 12. Right below this, we have dimension position. And these buttons, the graphics on them are excellent. They show you exactly how that 12 millimeter distance will be applied. The first one is outside offset. The second one is inside offset. And the last one, overall dimension. We are going to use inside offset. Right below this, we have a checkbox for fix projected length. And this is checked by default. What happens here is, when this jog is placed in the tab, material is added to the tab, so this jog tab is the same length as the original flat tab. So if I go back and uncheck that, watch the preview on the screen, and you will see the tab is much shorter. So I'm going to put a check mark back in this box. Moving down the property manager, we have jog position. The first one is, do you want the jog to take place on the bend center line? The next one, material inside. The third one is material outside. And the last one, the bend completely on the outside. We'll go with material inside. This next setting is always fun to play around with. It defaults to 90, but you can change the jog angle. And watch the preview on the screen. And I'll set it back to 90. And the last item in the property manager is bend allowance. And we're going to leave it with the default. I'm going to close out of the jog feature. And as you can see, we applied a jog feature to the first tab. Now, unfortunately, the Solidworks software does not allow us to mirror a jog feature. So we're going to have to do that jog feature a second time for the second tab. So I'm going to go and select the jog feature. Select a plane on which to create a bend line. Add my bend line in the same position as the other tab. Close out of the sketch. Select a fixed face. And verify the settings are the same. Blind, 12, inside offset, material inside, and a jog angle of 90. Looks like we're good. I'm going to close out a jog, and there we go. We added two jogs to those two existing tabs.